Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're diving deep into the world of myths, those little nuggets of misinformation we've all heard a million times. You know, like don't swim after eating or we only use 10% of our brains. We're gonna find out if there's any truth to these tales or if they're just a bunch of baloney. What's really interesting is figuring out where these myths come from. Sometimes it's a simple misunderstanding, other times it's a case of good intentions gone wrong. So buckle up, get ready to learn, and let's bust some myths. Okay, let's start with a classic. Swimming after eating will give you cramps and you'll drown. Sounds scary, right? I mean, who wants a side of cramps with their cannonball? But here's the thing. This myth likely started with parents trying to keep their kids safe. They knew kids would go crazy in the pool after a big meal and maybe get a little uncomfortable, so they came up with this rule. Next up, we're tackling the 10% brain myth. This one's been around forever and it sounds so intriguing. Imagine all the untapped potential. But sadly, it's just not true. Scientists have proven that we use all parts of our brains, even when we're sleeping. Every single part of your brain has a job to do, and it's working hard all the time. Alrighty, time for some Viking-sized myth busting. You know those iconic horned helmets? Turns out, Vikings never actually wore them in battle. The image of the horned Viking warrior actually comes from much later 19th century operas and plays. Talk about a fashion faux pas. Real Vikings were more practical, opting for simple helmets or sometimes going bareheaded. Okay, who here believed that goldfish have a 3-second memory? Don't worry, you're not alone. This one's super common. Turns out, goldfish are actually pretty smart. Studies have shown they can remember things for months, not seconds. They can even learn simple tricks. So next time you see a goldfish, give it some credit. It remembers more than you think. Time to debunk a myth that's been giving moms anxiety for centuries. Can you catch a cold just from being cold? Nope. Colds are caused by viruses, not the weather. You can be out in the snow all day and not get sick, unless you come into contact with a cold virus. So why do we get more colds in the winter? Well, because we spend more time indoors close together, making it easier for those pesky viruses to spread. Here's one for all you knuckle crackers out there. Does cracking your knuckles actually give you arthritis? The answer is a resounding, probably not. While it might annoy the people around you, studies haven't found a direct link between knuckle cracking and arthritis. The popping sound you hear is just gas bubbles being released in the joint fluid. Let's talk about hair, shall we? Specifically, the myth that shaving makes your hair grow back thicker and darker. This one's been around forever, but it's just not true. Shaving only cuts the hair at the surface. It doesn't change its thickness, color, or growth rate. It might appear thicker because the end of the hair is blunt, but it's an optical illusion, not a hair transformation. Ever heard the saying, lightning never strikes the same place twice? Well, prepare to be shocked. Lightning can and does strike the same place twice, or even more. Tall buildings, trees, and other high points are often struck multiple times, especially during a single storm. So don't rely on that old saying for safety. Time to tackle a creepy crawler myth. You know that one about swallowing 8 spiders a year in our sleep? Thankfully, this is just an urban legend. Spiders are actually quite afraid of humans and have no interest in crawling into our mouths. Plus, our sleeping bodies make all sorts of movements and sounds that would scare any spider away. And finally, let's talk about sugar. Does it really make kids hyperactive? Well, multiple studies have shown that there's no direct link between sugar and hyperactivity in children. It's more likely that the excitement of a party or holiday, where sugary treats are often present, is what causes the hyper behavior. Well, there you have it, folks. We've busted 10 common myths and hopefully learned a thing or two along the way. Remember, just because something is said a lot or sounds believable doesn't make it true. Always question what you hear, do your research, and don't be afraid to dig deeper. Thanks for joining me on this myth-busting adventure. Don't forget to subscribe for more myth-busting fun, and remember, don't believe everything you're told. Until next time, stay curious.